Yes, people. Welcome back to the Just Joe football show. I hope you are all doing well. Hopefully, you've checked out the press conference reaction that went out around about 2:30. This has been filmed before that, so hopefully there isn't any injury news. But if there is, then go check that stuff out there. But I'm going to be giving you now your preview to Preston away, and I almost feel, having done a bit of research, this is the perfect away opponent for Leeds United. High-flying Leeds United, obviously hoping to keep the pressure at the top and on Sheffield United because we're behind by a point. If we win at lunchtime, then we will go top, even if we get a point. But it won't be for long because Sheffield United, of course, play Plymouth at home. They're going to batter them. It is what it is. So we're not going to be top at the end of this week, but we've got to keep the pressure on. We can't allow Sheffield United to create a bigger gap. And more importantly, we've got to maintain the gap on Burnley because Burnley are throwing it in. Can't beat the, rubbish teams at home. They're always drawing 1-0s, 1-0s. So, we just got to keep putting wins on the board. As I've said many times, I'll look at the title, 10 games to go. For now, it's just all about consolidating second, giving ourselves, a gap. Now, of course, even though we are flying, we do have to take into account our away form because it hasn't been great. The last 10 games, Leeds United have 7 wins and a draw in that time and 3 losses, okay? It's not bad form, but if we look solely at the away scenario, I think it's 1 win in our last 6 away games. That's not good enough. That's not good enough for a team that wants and has ambitions of the Premier League. So that needs to change quick. And, we have been successful this season. We've got a prolific attack, which is the mad thing. Like for Leeds United, right now for me, we didn't win for 2 months and we're second in the league and a point behind Sheffield United. If we'd have picked some points up during that time, we'd already be, out of sight. We have the most prolific attack in the league. We've scored 36 goals in 20 matches. And we're still not clinical. I look at Sheffield United at Millwall, 1 shot, 1 goal. We had 17 against Millwall and we lost 1-0. So even though we are leading the charts for, goals scored with 36, it still should be more. It could be more. And hopefully it will be more. And, this away form that we're in, 1 win in our last 6 away games, that's got to change now. That has to change, and it has to change against Preston. We have to put it right this weekend. For me, we have the perfect opposition in doing so because Preston North End have won just 3 of their last 10 games at Deepdale in the league this season, yeah? They've got Paul Heckingbottom in charge, obviously, former Leeds United manager. He came in for Ryan Lowe after he was sacked after, I think it was 1 game. But they've struggled. They've struggled to get going under him. And they sit 14th in the league. They've got 22 points from 20 games. To be honest, to make matters even better for Leeds United and to pour more water on the threat that Preston are going to offer us, only clubs in the relegation zone, which is Cardiff, Plymouth and Hull, have scored fewer goals than Preston this season. So not only are they struggling to win games, they don't score goals either. Now, of course, they are coming on the back of their first away win of the season, but that came against relegation zone Cardiff. So I don't read into that and think, oh, they've turned a corner. They beat a team that's in the relegation zone. Is one of the teams that doesn't score. For them to be 14th and only the teams in the relegation zone have scored less than them says all you need to know. That win as well against Cardiff was their first in any competition since October. So this, for me, is the perfect opposition. They don't score goals. They've got their first win since October against the relegation team. They're not really offering me threats. Their team isn't that great. Now, of course, Osmajic is back in the side after his 8-match ban when he bit Owen Beck at Blackburn, and he was the one that scored the goal against Cardiff. So it could be a player we do need to watch out for. But they don't score goals. And Leeds United have an imperious defence, both home and away. When we're losing away, we're not getting battered, are we? When we are losing games, a lot of the time we're on top. I think the only time really when we've lost a game, I look at Millwall because I think they just did the job on us. Even though we had 17 shots, we've not been dominated. And look, Preston, yes, Osmajic is back, but they're without Robbie Brady. They're without Ched Evans. These two lads are out. Leeds United, Ampadu's coming back. I don't think he'll start. In terms of the opposition and what I expect to come from Paul Heckingbottom's Preston, I think it will be a low block, regardless of them being at home. They don't score goals. That shows that they don't have a lot of attacking threat. So they'll look to sit in and maybe potentially get something on set pieces. This is the way for teams like Preston. Leeds United showed against Middlesbrough. We defended really well. I know they scored. It came from an OG. I've seen a lot of people outside of Leeds glazing Middlesbrough and, the second tier boys trying to say they deserved a point at least. I'm like, what are you? No. Leeds United with a better side by far, bar a 10, 15, 20-minute spell in the second half. They caused us problems, the most so far this season, but we won the game 3-1, And I just feel against Preston, this is set up for us. It's the perfect opposition for Leeds United to get their away form sorted out. And then we play Oxford. Inshallah. We have to win this. We've scored the most goals in the league. They've only scored, I think, 20 goals, a goal a game, which is only worsened by teams in the relegation zone. They shouldn't be able to bother this Leeds United side from an attacking standpoint. So for me, we have more than enough to at least put one goal away, which with our defensive record will be enough. If Leeds United score first, I think it's 33 games now under Farker, we have still not lost, winning about 90% of them. I think we've only lost a couple. So put one away and we win this with ease. I genuinely feel if we can score in the first 20, 25 minutes, get a goal in front, Preston tactics have to change, we probably get another. My prediction for the game is 2-0. My prediction for the lineup, which has been pretty bob on of late, I think we could see Ramazani start, give us that technical ability, maybe rest Dan James. I think just look, as good as Dan James is, he needs space. I don't think Preston are going to afford us that. I think it might be a bit, they'll play backs to the wall, a bit like it was against Derby for that early 10, 15, and then, gaps will hopefully, open up for Leeds. I think Pirro comes back in because it's going to be, a lot more compact. There isn't going to be space and they're not going to need to press as much. So I think Pirro will come back in. I think Ramazani could play, or it could be Solomon. One of them will play on the left, and I think Nonto will go on the right. Aronson will play. Midfield will be the same. Fullbacks, Bogle could be back. We'll find out in the presser, which is in the past. But if he's not, more than happy with Byram and Vorba. We know Firpo's not coming back anytime soon. I think that sort of team picks itself. As good as Dan James was, I like what Farker's doing in terms of checking the opposition and going, right, okay, you're going to work in this game. He is rotating the squad, which is great to see. Look, we should be winning this game anyway, but having done the research, having looked how many goals they've scored, how lack of an attacking threat they have, the form they're in, Leeds United win this game, and it arrests that worry that we have as a fan base, because this is the last worry. Those that are maybe more, say, negative or more towards, look, Farker's not the man, even still, because they still are. I think the away form is the last thing to cling on to. Leeds United sort that out, then there's nothing to complain about. Leeds United, if they sort their away form out, will win the league. A point away, I would still back us in terms of top two. But if we really want to, take the piss, which we have the opportunity to, get some wins away, start winning away, then what? You know what I mean? So yeah, I think Leeds United win this game quite comfortably. I think we're going to win 2-0. I think we get a goal in the first 20, 25 minutes, and then the game might not be a great spectacle, but we'll have more than enough to beat this Preston side. And then we have a week's worth of training and we play Oxford. Bring it on, and then it's Christmas time and Leeds will be, top by about 5 points. So happy days. Anyway, smash a like on the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss the watch along in the morning. Of course, it's an early kickoff. And please do subscribe, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace out. Leeds.